BFF.
BFF!
Danny, I can go first or second. I'm ready.
Okay, well,
Do you already have somebody for this one?
yeah, Jason's already said you do the second one.
Let's go,
and
Bess.
the second one.
I read a man today. He was homeless and standing on the corner of Pleasant Valley and Summer. The sun-beaten sun soliciting crumpled miracles resurrected from ashtrays and guilt. His eyes, and they were the color of stale hope and lost beer. His hands, they were tightly gripping air as if he was holding a sign saying, please, help me. I'm hungrier than you can ever imagine and more than you could ever know. Please don't pass me by. Just look past my filth and your judgment. Anything will do. I mean, beggars can't be choosy, but I'm begging that you choose me. He shuffled backwards and I shifted forward. It was one red light and two men, and his arms, they were angled just so his invisible sign was staring right through me as if to say, don't you fucking judge me. I know you think I'm stupid because I don't have a goddamn sign, but my sign has been pissed and shit and slept on. I've left it 3 blocks at the intersection of hunger and bad choices. Don't you dare judge me. But all I kept thinking was, dude, how do you expect to get some money? You ain't got no goddamn sign. I mean, how do you expect to compete with the million of people who are homeless who take the time to scribble closed caption messages on the top of the box of Jimmy Choo's that we get a Jimmy Choo's in that you now have to choose to live in? On the back of home for sale signs, the irony of which never escapes me, y'all, but then it hit me. He is the sign. He's a walking billboard, soul and hanging. He's an army fatigued, dirt scribbled, 5'9.5" help needed, food wanted sign. And I finally slowed down long enough to be human and read every inch of his worn font of a body. It was sans home and self-esteem, incomplete yet sentences. Man is what he is, but homeless, that's how I chose to see him on the corner of Pleasant Valley and nowhere. His hands were gripping air so tightly, whiteness knuckled through the dirt of his yesterdays. Today I read a man. In between red lights, turn heads, and turn signals, this hair-matted frame, handwritten, somewhat illegible cry for help. His hopes were scratched along his neckline in cursive lines, ending up somewhere between his heart and here. His fears, they were hanging over him like quotations. And the more I read him, the more I could hear the question marks in his eyes asking, are you going to help me? Are you going to help me? And somewhere between the light changing from red to green, he was changing me. Back to that little boy who only knew go and always loved to read. Somewhere between Pleasant Valley and here, he reminded me of how callous and jaded I'd become. That in order for me to even consider helping a man in need, I needed to see a sign. I needed to read some witty street haiku to get my need, beyond his need for him to entertain me. Well, reality is not a show, and neither is he. He's a man. Homeless and still standing on the corner of Pleasant Valley and anywhere. The light turns green, I go, leaving one man, 2 crumpled miracles, and this sign, just desperately wanting to be read human. Thank you. Oh!